Fox Sports fans, this isn't the normal start to the interview that you see. This is the Matt Frevola interview. Unfortunately, to start this interview, the first half of it was not recorded. I don't know why this did happen, but it's extremely unfortunate because Matt had some really good things to say. He was a great sport about it. I reached out to him. He said he's going to come back on for you guys once he gets a fight announced. Hopefully, we can meet him in UFC Nashville too, because I think he's going to be there. That was something that was actually not in the recording that we did discuss. So it does suck that we didn't get that. But I'm gonna shut my trap. I'm gonna get you guys to the interview. Here's what we did get on video coming your way now.
All the live music, and just like the levels of the bars, like every bar had like three different levels. I thought that was cool.
Yep.
Uh yeah, and it was like bachelorette parties and bachelor parties all over the place.
Where everybody goes. If you're from the South, every bachelorette party,
Yeah.
bachelor parties in Nashville. I swear to God, it is. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it was fun. And then Billy Q had a great fight. And yeah, that was a fun fight week.
That's dope. Is there any chance that you'll be back for UFC Nashville for July 12th? Obviously, I know you're not fighting on that. If you are, they haven't announced that yet. Is there any chance that you'll be showing up to that event?
Maybe I got no plans as of yet, but you never know.
That'd be dope. I would love, obviously, as a fan, I would love to see you fighting on that card with it being a month out from now. But even just for you to be there, that'd be dope, man. Because I'm actually going to
Yeah,
be,
man.
and I actually
Hell
have
yeah.
seats.
If I go, I'll let you know.
Bet. That's what we like to hear, man. We can figure something out for sure. So just to kind of get off the topic of that, that's a good question. I'm glad I started with that one because I didn't know I was going to get that answered. But what's one thing fans would be surprised to know about you outside of the octagon?
Huh. Um, I would say that I'm a big yogi. I love hot yoga. I do hot yoga like at least like 2 or 3 times a week, and I center my chi, and I find my balance
That's awesome.
physically and mentally and spiritually.
That is dope. A lot of teams are making players go to yoga now, like college teams, like they're making their athletes go to that stuff. So that's dope.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it for a while, and it keeps me healthy. Like I do like the Bikram yoga, the 26 postures and two breathing exercises, and I've like memorized it by now. And like in the hot room, it's super hard, but all those movements like heal my body, and then I come out of there. Like I love to do a hot yoga the day before I spar, because then when I spar, I know like I feel great.
hmm That's awesome. How long are you usually there for that? Like how long does that usually take? Like a typical like
I do like the hour class, but they also have the 90-minute class. But that's the 90-minute class is you could do enough in an hour.
oh for sure, especially with what you just mentioned. That's another tier up. I feel like from these other classes that like normal people might just be going to or something like that. So that's dope, man. That's dope. I could really see where that could really help a UFC fighter out, like of your caliber, and kind of like just take everything in and be simple to do. I like that on the side. That's cool
Yeah, it'll help anybody.
for
It'll
sure.
help. Yeah, you just gotta sweat it out in there.
That's dope. That is dope. So Matt, if you weren't fighting right now, if you weren't a UFC fighter, what do you think you would be doing?
Huh. I would either be running the construction business, the family business. My brother would be working for me,
Blue collar boy right there. Hell yeah.
or maybe I would be a cop, or I was in the Army Reserves for 8 years, and I always thought about trying to I could have made a career in the Army.
Mhm.
Maybe I would have done that. Was Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. Well, we appreciate you for that. I actually didn't even know that about you. So I'm glad you mentioned that, man. That's awesome to know that. What kind
Yeah, maybe been a cop.
after going from the army to being a UFC fighter, how did that kind of happen? How did you know like you kind of had that in you to maybe make this a profession for you one day?
Um, I was fighting amateur while I was going to college in Tampa, and then I did the ROTC program there,
Hell yeah.
and I really was really into everything I was learning, and then they offered me a scholarship, and I could do 8 years in the reserves for it, and I was like, I had gone pro in fighting, and I could keep pursuing my dreams of fighting in the UFC while I was in the reserves. So I did that, and and it was great, man. But and then I always, I could always have while I was fighting, I always thought about trying to push to go active duty. But the fighting was just going so great, and I was loving it, and I was winning, and we're still doing it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I like to hear. That's neat. I did not know that about you, so that's dope, man. I'm glad you're able to balance both those two things too. That's got to be crazy to be able to do something like that. So that's awesome. That is so dope. I love that. All right. So for my next one, Matt, this is my favorite question I had picked out for you. Okay. And this is something I feel like a lot of fighters would have a lot of different answers on. So, what is something about fighting that casual fans don't understand? Because last night, if you're watching UFC Atlanta, there was a lot of booing going on, and the crowd wasn't liking what they were seeing. So, what's something a casual fan doesn't understand about UFC?
I would say that these that both of those guys in that cage are trained professionals at the highest level, and it's like any little mistake could cost the fight. So when you're in there booing and stuff, you don't see these little feints, these little setups, the patience that at a high level fighting has to take, that takes. And then in MMA, mixed martial arts, I think it's beautiful how certain fighters, mix, all the styles of fighting and disciplines, and to just kind of appreciate the mixed martial arts, not just the stand and bang stuff, but you gotta love it all.
Exactly, and that's why I mean, if you do want to just watch striking, then you probably have to go watch boxing on that. But just to kind of go off of what you just said, I mean, the other thing I feel like a lot of fans, and you could probably chime in on this because this is kind of what you just said. I feel like at the end of the day, like they have to understand that there's two guys in the octagon, and they're both trying to get their win money. They got their show money. They're locked in there in the octagon now, but they have to do whatever's necessary to win the fight and to double their check for what they were offered by the UFC that night too. And I feel like they do not understand that a lot of times. So I don't know what your thought is on that, but that's kind of how I view it. I'm like, dude, like I can't hate on a guy like Usman last night. He kind of blanketed Buckley for like 4 rounds. Took him down, held him there. Did a few things at times, but kind of just laid on him a little bit. But at the end of the day, like Usman was just doing what he had to do to win that fight because obviously Buckley was very dangerous on the feet.
Yeah, yeah, and then the more risks you take, the more you put yourself at risk. Um, so you gotta win the fight, and then make the most out of the opportunities to finish the fights. That's and then you got and you got to respect the fighters that really go for the finish.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why I think you're a fan favorite right there because you do go for the finish every single fight. Like there's not going to be a Matt Frevola fight where you're going to turn on the TV and the whole fucking arena is going to be booing. So that's
Yeah, yeah.
why you
That's I prepare to go for the finish. Every point of the round for 15 minutes if I have to.
yes,
And
sir.
then we're also working on being more disciplined and
There,
patient as well.
there we go. Who does I think Michael Chandler says it's controlled chaos or was that Gaethje? One of them said
Yeah, yeah. Controlled chaos. I love,
chaos.
you know, controlled violence, controlled killer. Keyword controlled.
Yes. That is true. That is true. Well, Matt, to kind of go off of kind of go back to where we were talking earlier, kind of about your gym a little bit. Who's the funniest fighter in your gym and why?
Who's the what?
The funniest fighter.
Oh, funniest, funniest,
Yeah, the funniest guy.
funniest fighter. Who makes me chuckle the most? out of the people that you would know, because the jujitsu guys, there's some funny gay jujitsu guys out there. Uh, but I'll give Aljo's pretty funny. Aljo's funny. Um, yeah, yeah.
I
But
could
Quinta's hilarious.
I can see that too. And Aljo too, I feel like a lot of people especially through like kind of like the whole O'Malley rivalry type of thing, like I feel like everybody was just like not even giving Aljo a chance, man. Like he's a good dude. I don't
Yeah,
understand what
Aljo's the man.
like I could see him being a very funny guy as well. Like, off the camera or off TV, whatever you want to call it. I could definitely see that. So I feel like he's kind of one of those fighters in the UFC. Some of these guys just get like unnecessary hate. I feel like he kind of fell through that for a little bit for some reason, but now it's like not as bad as what he used to be. So I like that.
Oh yeah,
How do you shout
and
out Marco for that? I can see that. Is there anything like in particular he does to like make you laugh a lot?
uh, I don't know, just a lot. But Aljo, I mean, his just watching him go through his whole rise, like the way he won the title against Jan, taking the illegal knee, and then the backlash that he got from that, and then to watch him, kind of take all that backlash on the chin, turn it on its head and like make jokes out of it, and then go out there and put in the work and really beat Peter Yan in Jacksonville in the rematch to like really solidify winning the title. It was amazing, and then his title run was amazing too. And Aljo has what it takes to be a champion at 145 too. He
Yep,
could beat anybody in the world um, at 145 as well. So I'm excited for him.
for sure, for sure. And to kind of go into another fun topic I got for you, what's your go-to cheat meal after a fight?
Go to cheat meal, I get vodka grandma yeah, vodka grandma pie from Sinelli's with the hot honey on it. And I'll get a bacon, egg, and cheese in the morning
Bacon, egg, and cheese,
and
baby, love it. That's
in
my
the morning,
favorite.
and then I'll get the vodka grandma for lunch, and then maybe I'll get Chipotle for dinner.
Okay, okay,
That's a heavy day. That's a heavy day.
that's my girlfriend's favorite place to eat too. So she's gonna love she's gonna love that answer now whenever she watches it. Chipotle is pretty fire, man.
I
I think
love
there was a guy recently that I saw on Instagram. He ate like Chipotle 1,000 days in a row or something like that, and now he got a whole year for free of Chipotle or some shit like that. Like that just
Oh, very
like a week ago. So
nice.
that guy is crazy. I know you're not eating Chipotle like that. I just thought that was crazy that an actual human being ate Chipotle 1,000 days in a row. Like that's fucking.
It's impressive.
I mean, you travel like not every place in the world like is gonna have Chipotle too. So like, I don't know how he was able to balance that. I don't know if he was just at home for 1,000 days straight and Chipotle's 5 minutes down the road or whatever. But I thought that was pretty interesting from that. So I like
Yeah.
the answer though, man. Bacon, egg, and cheese, Chipotle. We got the vodka pie. That's fire, man. That's fire. I would definitely treat myself to something like that after getting in the octagon and
And
having
then I go to the movies and get a bucket of popcorn and a bunch of crunch.
put a bunch of butter on it too. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever put M&Ms in your popcorn before?
I like the bunch of crunch.
Let's go. Let's go. I put M&Ms in my buttered popcorn. That's so fucking unhealthy. I don't recommend that if you're watching this video, but it is very good. If you,
There's a time and a place.
for sure, for sure. If you've earned that shit, then you need to do it for sure. But Matt, I know it's Father's Day. So just to kind of wrap up and let you get on with the rest of your day, I always ask every fighter this at the end of the video. What's the message you want to give to the fans that are going to watch this video to what they can expect from you the rest of 2025?
Um, yeah, I'm gonna keep living the dream. My craft is martial arts. I live this shit. I train it, I teach it, I love it, and I'm gonna be competing in it again soon before the end of the year, and I'm gonna go out there and give it all. give it all I got as I always do, and I can't wait to show the new weapons that I'm working on and my final form. You know, I'm trying to reach my final form, and it's approaching. So I'll let it unleash it soon.
There we go. There we go. That's what I like to hear, Matt. We can't wait to see you return to the octagon. Entertaining as always. Great guy. Well represent of the U.S. So we can't wait to see you get back in there, man, and do your fucking thing. We know you've been grinding. If you keep up with you on social media, you've been getting absolutely after it. You and Aljo kicked each other for like a minute straight. The day I saw that Instagram video. So obviously you're putting in the work there, man. We can't wait to see you return to the octagon. Matt, SteamRolla for Vola.